Alrighty, we are back. A few minutes late today, but that is alright. So last time we were going around, we were trying to find some way to make money, at least according to the stream title, and that didn't really end up panning out. We tried to get some access to the Khanate, but we didn't end up having enough cash or enough, I believe, dark drop coffee beans. Didn't have enough of those to actually get in, unfortunately. So we do still have a few things to do. We do still need to get into Station 3 here, because we need the heart metal ingot to keep our snow child, our son that was grown out of the ground by, I believe it was Mr. Sachs, I think is his name in the Sunless Sea. Yeah, Mr. Sachs. Kind of just grown out of the snow, and we adopted him, and he started to melt. I think he stopped melting because we managed to talk to the fellow at the Iron Republic. But yeah, now we have to go and figure out how to get the long boxes off. I was told previously that evidently if you hunt a giant crab, it has the chance to drop a strange catch, which we can then trade, I believe, in... where is that? In the Shepherd Isles. We can trade a strange catch for a long box. But in order to do that, we will have to fight that giant crab, and I am very concerned. Even though our ship is not repaired, even at full health, I'm very concerned that we will not be able to fight him effectively. So first things first, let's go fix up our ship in the dry dock here. We'll use more of the the Admiralty's favors here, because that'll keep it nice and cheap. We've also still got quite a few locations to visit. Foremost among them, Hideaway. We haven't yet found it, but we have 1, 2, and 3 quests there to complete once we do eventually find it. I also believe we have to go to Irem for the Imperious Sister, and we haven't actually been inside Irem. We didn't have the dark drop coffee beans. I believe it is the same there to gain access to it. So we do have to get in there. We have 1 sack of dark drop coffee beans, and they're quite expensive in Fallen London compared to at least Port Carnelian, where I believe they are the cheapest we found them so far for 38 echoes. I believe that is the cheapest location there. But we do still have to visit a few other locations. We have to visit Irem. Actually, no, we have visited Irem here. We have to visit the Chelanet and Khan's Shadow in the Sunless Sea to help Maybe's daughter perhaps find her mother. And we have to find Naples on the surface if we can't find her first at either of those 2 locations. We are getting to better percentages to actually find her at those locations, so we may actually not need to go up to the surface, because the surface does cost quite a bit of fuel, at least with the starter ship. You need 22 fuel, I believe, and 2 supplies to actually get to the surface, which is basically almost more than half of our cargo space just spent on that trip alone. And I don't know if it's 22 fuel to get up and same to go down, or if it's a round trip sort of fee with that. So I'm very concerned that if we do get up there, we won't be able to come down. That said, that is something for later. We should bring some foxfire candles out, actually. See if we can grab those here. They cost 40 echo, which is a bit expensive, and they will probably take up a spot in our cargo here. Well, actually, you know what? Let's check whether flares do. They do, unfortunately. But we do need foxfire candles in both Ashaven? Something like that. See if I can find it on the map. I believe it's this location somewhere out here. We need some foxfire candles to explore there, and we also need them up in Nuncio here to go and explore the deeper caverns of the like post office suction hole thing that's over there. There's a big old cavern that seems to be very alive. So we need those to explore those two locations. Other than that, yeah, we've not got too much specific to do. I've decided to give up on making fat stacks of cash. I'm just hoping that we can do that. We can either find a good trade to do that, just in passing, or we'll just stumble upon a fortune somewhere. But I've decided that that as a primary drive was probably not going to get us very far. I think exploring and figuring out what else is around here is probably our best bet. So I think the first... Oh, right, and Pigmote Isle. We've accidentally set them to war against both... Let's see, was that the Isle of Cats? I know Visage was there because the masked folk were there, and another group was also there. But we've set them against them, set Pigmote Isle against them both. So we may or may not be able to see how that's going on, their war against those two factions. They could have been subservient to them, but I kind of didn't. I felt like that was that both of them wanted the Rat Star, and I felt that that was something very important to them. So I advised against giving it up to either of those factions. But anyway, let's go and double check everything here. We still have not found the Swallowing Isles for the Admiralty. Nor have we found any live specimens for either the Sigil-Ridden Navigator's questline over in the Chapel of Light, or our cook, the Bandaged Poissonnier, who needs strange catches and live specimens. Let's go top off our... Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll have enough room to get foxfire candles here. Perhaps we'll ignore the supplies. We'll bring 5 foxfire candles with us so we can go to Ashaven. And then... Ashaven? We should pick a pronunciation of that. Let's just call it Ashaven. I think that's the one I've been using most commonly. So I think we'll pick up 5 foxfire candles to go here to go to Ashaven. It'll be quite the expense, unfortunately. It will cost us quite a bit, but I do want to see what's over there. From what I remember of Ashaven, it was a like monk or monastery-ish sort of location, with not very good at being celibate monks, considering they all claimed to have been descended from former monks, which, you know anything about celibacy, that's not how that works quite. But I think we'll sail over there first. Just straight across here. And on the way we can check out the Salt Lines, Guider's Mourn, Port Cecil, and not Scrimshander, because if we do go to Scrimshander, unfortunately, we will get stuck, or have to pay our way out, rather, with a few things that I don't believe I currently have great access to. So I think we're just going to set out straight across here, and maybe purchase some... We do need to purchase some more supply if we want to make it all the way across. Perhaps we'll take a roundabout route down to Igel or Port Carnelian. Yeah, perhaps we'll do that. But to do that, we have to first launch. So we'll go and get ourselves out of here. Now, 6 supplies with 8 crew is not going to last us a very long time. I don't want to go down to Port Carnelian. That's a little distant out of the way. So I think maybe we'll go in a diagonal line towards Igel. And then we will be able to hit up Pigmoat Isle as well as Mutton Island on the way. So we should turn our lamp off here while we wait. Ooh, our terror is now at 51, unfortunately. And that means we will encounter, or we do have the possibility, rather, of encountering the horrific spider-like creature at the bottom of the way. My god, was that terrifying. And it is built like a tank and hits like a truck. So that is not something that we want to run into. And so spending time on the seafloor, we're going to limit to an absolute minimum. I don't know exactly how it tracks you down, the constant companion, but it does just show up. Oh my. Under new management. Okay, under new management, bright-eyed men and women from the Admiralty work hastily to expand the dock. Hymns with unfamiliar words ring out over the fall of their hammers. Ah, right. This is how, instead of being blockaded here, like it was in the previous playthrough, I believe our gift of Sphinx Stone to the Grand Geode, or the Gem Geode, whatever, that location to the south with the very shiny people, has actually given it this instead of being blockaded by the Admiralty instead. They've actually built a plank here, and it's under new management from, presumably, the Dawn Machine sort of followers here. So, as you attempt to lower your plank, a fervent officer, escorted by a modest squadron of well-armed zailors, raises his hand and calls out to you, "Ahoy, sir, this isle is now under the jurisdiction of Her Majesty's Admiralty. Depart immediately." His men raise their weapons. Best to be off then, so we've just got the port report from that now. Can't do anything else on the island anymore. We've still got this letter here. We have always had an opportunity to read it, but I don't believe we should. I believe that is from the nearly dead man. That is the letter bound for Hideaway as well. And unfortunately, we just haven't found Hideaway yet. But the nearly dead man is over in... yes, there it is. The Undercrow. The Ragged Crow specifically, where he tends the lighthouse there with... kind of, he had something living in his skin. I believe it might have been moth eggs. And so we, after delivering his protege there, we've taken this letter. Uh-oh. We've now got our nightmares coming back, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame. We did gain a secret, I believe, the last time we confronted it, but I do not believe it was really worthwhile, because we get secrets anyway. We're just kind of picking them up as we go. But I don't quite feel as though it's worth it to stick around and get more nightmares, especially since our iron is so high, so we can kind of push them back as it comes. Let's see if we can do some combat with this Gillifleur here. Oh, I guess he sees us. There we go. Lucky enough not to take any damage there, especially since we're going to questionably engage any of those crabs that we see, the larger crabs. It's very bad to take any damage before that, because I feel like we're going to absolutely get battered here with our solo deck weapon and not very much health at all. Luckily, we do have quite a bit of crew excess. We're one over what I'd consider a good-sized crew. Oh no. Oh no, the fall of Pigmote Isle. Pigmote's fight for independence has lost. A viscous fog curses what remains of its civilization, turning any water it touches to black tar. The twitching bodies of rats and cavies line the streets, black jackal masks nailed to their faces. A lingering smell of burned fur catches in your throat as that you leave. Oh no! We've gotten them all killed! Shoot! Leave this place, there's nothing more to be done here. That's terrible. The end of a dream. A few pieces of scintillic catch your eye as you return to the ship. You take them with you along with the story of this place. Pigmote Isle has fallen. We've got the port report. We've picked up scintillic, tales of terror, terror itself, and then a secret from it. Oh no. The ruins of Pigmote Isle. A few survivors still scavenge through the remnants, hissing whenever you approach. They have little worth protecting. Raiders, pirates, and other opportunists have wasted no time picking Pigmote to the bone. Search for blue scintillic and may have survived the island's fall. Detritus. Tiny glimmers mark where the rodent's treasure met its end. What pieces remain are too small to be worth collecting, even as souvenirs. Dang it. Shoot. I really thought they'd... Oh, how terrible. I wanted to assist them, but they wouldn't let me help them out at all, and I guess... Ah... I'm actually really sad about that. If we go to visit, we're going to try to blow them up. Because judging by the masks, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that considered that were the ones what destroyed everything here. I'm really bummed out about that. Oh man. Pigmote Isle was set. Okay, I guess lesson learned. If we do eventually head to a captain here, hell no, I am not. Wait, hold on a moment. Oh, truth and dreams. Beneath the cavern that holds the Untersee is prowled by dreams. There's a story that it was once the skull of a dead god. Perhaps that would explain it. So we can either dose ourselves with black spore, which is apparently a hearts challenge, which we don't have a very high chance here, or we can listen to them. I guess we could listen to it. A dream of spires. Mirror-faceted pillars rise around you like trees in a forest, more so because each glows with a shifting green light. The Z laps at the base of the pillars. A voice from above cries out in 7 languages, and you will understand each one. Once this was the face of Irem, it will be taken from us. Face of Irem? Also, it's talking about Irem in the past tense, which Irem always... speaks in the future. How very strange. Well, we gained a memory of distant shores, as well as a bit of terror, unfortunately. Oh man, I'm super bummed about that. I can't believe I didn't have an opportunity to even visit them and offer my assistance in any way. Ah. Very, very sad about that now. Alright, and this is the Drowny's King location, I believe. It sends us underwater when we get here. Ooh, oh my god, that has a lot of health. I don't even know what it is. Lorn Fluke. Okay, we're just going to sail around the north side of this island. Discovered Fathom King's Hold. Oh, apparently I had never discovered that before. An Alsace class corvette. Oh, and they seem to be faster than we are. Yeah, they're definitely outpacing us here. Will they lose track of us, maybe? They're either as fast or faster than we are, but they have seemed to stop following us. Oh no, Boreas doesn't have any time left. Uh-oh. The chill of the avid horizon runs deep in Boreas' Lacra, but even such primal cold cannot last forever. The inevitability of snow. Boreas does not have long left. Melting away. The ship is out of ice and ideas. Boreas is losing its struggle. The end could come at any time now. Snow Child is struggling. Okay. We've got to find some of those crabs. got to find something to make a strange catch. We have something in need of a trophy, a hunting trophy, and then we need to convert that at the Shepherd Isles. I haven't seen any crabs though. I've been keeping my eye out for them. Oh man, this is terrible. What a terrible start to the stream today. Everything is going wrong. The pigs on Pigmoat Isle, or the rats on Pigmoat Isle rather, and cavies are just, they're gone, and our child is melting. Oh man. We need to sink here. Come on. Doesn't even show anything under the water. Okay. We're going to sink here. We're going to grab more fuel and more supplies specifically, because I do believe it is relatively cheap out here. Luckily, I don't hear that skittering yet. We do still need to figure out how to grow the brother. We could grow the brother's regret into a spine to give the specific message, but we've also got the opportunity to meet the Imperious sister over in Irem, or the Isle of Cats. I probably was going to go to Irem. Evidently we can dine with the crew here, so we should assemble a port report first. Let's dine with the crew. It'll use up our something awaits us here, and it looks like the only thing that will. There are a few people aboard the Fortis Kettle, and the guests provide variety. The captain and the first mate are absent. The crew gather and tell stories of when the Fortis Kettle was still free to roam the sea floor. The captain was a jolly man, fond of a drink, who laughed at icebergs. The first man was everyone's confidant. The two were meant to be married even when they got back to London, but Eigel called imperiously, and the first mate drove the kettle full throttle onto the spines. After the meal, the first mate returns from their latest exploration in the engine room. The tomb colonist rises with a sigh. It'll be time to rebandage the captain then. Oh. Interesting. Oh, we've gained another Needle of Fortis? Interesting. I don't want to pierce our skin here, because I find it very strange. But I think this is the best price unless we go back to Port Carnelian that we're going to get here. These are actually not too badly priced either. They're cheaper than in Fallen London, but not cheaper than at Port Carnelian either. So I think the only place I want to pick up sacks of dark drop coffee beans is actually at Port Carnelian. So I'm going to buy up our supply here to, say... Oh, we don't have that much cargo space. We'll get it up straight to there then. And we'll get a single piece of fuel to bring us to the top. That'll get us out, hopefully to the area with a crab. I really don't know where to find any of those big crabs. Because we can't get any hunting trophies from the little ones. And I just haven't found a compatible larger crab. I'm also very concerned because I don't know how we're going to fight it. If it does a lot of damage, and we only can take 1 or 2 hits, I don't think we'll win at all. Our weapons only do about 20-ish damage to each of the monsters, unfortunately. And so it'll take at least, if I recall correctly, those crabs have about 200 health. It'll take at least 10 shots to get them. Something has been following us. It is patient. Oh, lovely. That's probably the, I would assume that would be the constant companion. I could be wrong, though. Alright, let's go grab just a port report from Visage, because I don't want to spend any time here whatsoever, you absolute rat-murdering folks. I don't think I'm going to stray too far away from Station 3, then. I'm going to see... I think this is Crab something. Crab Island? Crab Cake, that's the one. I do remember that the crab, there are occasionally crabs around there. We are going to flee the nightmare, gain 2 terror. We lost the restless night and a nightmare's strength, which is at 0, so I feel like that should have been gone, but that's all right. Or I thought it said it was at 0. Whoa. Wonder why all of the locations are shown here. Okay, there we go. So we are here. We're just south of Station 3. We really need to run into a crab here. I'm afraid if we return to Fallen London, we're just going to have our child melt in front of us, because it did say there was something waiting at port. We've got to get one of these trophies. Okay, that's the Station 3. Should we make for Fathom King's Hold? Or, no. King Eater's Castle. A location where you can make wishes. Because... it would be... No, that's not what we need. It would potentially be a way to save the child. He has a wish, and I believe that... Oh, this is new. So we listened to our dream here. You walk through through streets of buildings trapped in amber, flooded with treacly, light, rubbery men with their face tentacles twitching complacently swirl around you in crowds. They give you a wide berth. Something drips from your hands, not blood. It's pale as milk. The bell tolls. You turn in through an ornate arch, and all the lights go out, but not before you see the spined shape throned in a pool at the chamber's heart. So I believe rubbery men are actually related to the spines over at Eigel. So I guess there is a spined king somewhere, judging by that description there. Yeah, we'll stop the Abbey. We'll grab a port report. If this kills our child, I'm going to be so greatly annoyed. Oh. Interesting. The sisters need provisions for the feast of Saint Niet. Something fresh they're prepared to pay with Centillic. How much Centillic? How much space do we have? So we've got 2 strange catches. I think we should be okay. Grab the port report here. Have news for them. The ability to watch convents here, the convent here. Yeah, so this, we can also go and offer a hunting trophy here. And we're still looking for romantic literature to help our Presbyterian adventuress reach her glorious end. Let's trade one of the strange catches here. A trade. Saint Niet is the patron saint of fish. Your strange cat is probably close enough. A dark-skinned, unsmiling sister hands you a coffer. Gathered by our bravest sisters, she says, before she lets you take it. It's a long dive to the reefs. The rocks are sharp, the currents are strong, sometimes there are monsters. Chainmail whispers under her habit. Oh, okay. So she's actually got armor under her robes there. My God, where are any of these crabs? I've been avoiding them all game, and every time I do, I feel like they pop up regularly. But specifically now, when we need them, they're just not showing up. And Gillifleur is following us, and I don't want to bother fighting with him at the moment, because I'm really looking for this crab here. Maybe we can find one with our bats here? I don't know. I've got no idea. We can't use Zonar. We're not underwater. And, there's one. Okay, so 150 health. We're going to have to play this very, very carefully. Oh, has he seen us? I don't think he knows where we are yet. Oh, there's a Gillifleur too, though. As soon as as soon as that flips, we're gonna light him up. We just have to keep backing up and hope we get out of his range here. Luckily, he doesn't seem to be too fast, though he hasn't charged us yet. Is he... Oh no, he's submerged. Okay. Alright, we picked him up. Did he give us a hunting trophy? Okay. We can dissect it or we can butcher it. How do we get the hunting trophy here? The shell is shattered, the glowing Elysiae lie silent. Is it dissection or butchering that we get a trophy from? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Shoot. I think we'll butcher it, because it says that for supplies and occasionally other oddities, so let's pick it up. It's not what we need, an unprepossessing mass. Oh, there's probably something horrible inside, but possibly there's not. So we can either slice it open or fling it overboard. Let's slice it open. I hope this gives us a hunting trophy. Z eggs. We call them Z eggs, the bosun suggests. We don't want to tell the crew what they actually are. They're safe to eat, but, you know, okay, so we got more supplies from them. We need... Oh my god, we need fuel, too. Labyrinth of eels. No. Ugh. The snow child melts. Boreas has run out of time and asks to see you. Pay your respects. Boreas's eyes have already melted. Its mouth is full of water. It lifts what remains of a hand. Do not bother. No, we're not going to not bother with it. Oh, man. Sitting vigil. The cold cuts into your skin, but you hold tight. It's not long before Boreas's grip melts away. Only a few hours more before its shape is barely recognizable. By first watch, nothing remains but a scrap of ice, a puddle, and the lingering smell of ammonia. Damn it. We gained hearts from it, but we lost him. Shoot. It has not been a very good day for us. Well, I guess we no longer need to get a strong box or anything. And I think we'll just sail to the Iron Republic now. Man. Our terror is over 70, so we'll make fragments if we wish over there, but oh man, it has not been a very everything that we've seen today, all the consequences of our actions former has backfired on us here. This is most inconvenient. Agility flare? Sure, I'm in the mood to blow something to smithereens here. We're a little north. We're actually at the Cumane Canal, not the Iron Republic here, but... I suppose while we're already so close. We'll go and dock and see if we can grab ourselves some moves in the great game. Grab the port report. We got a vision of the surface instead of a move in the great game, unfortunately. I think we've got enough fuel to make it down to the Iron Republic. But actually, I think we're just going to head back to Fallen London. We picked up port reports from a few places, and our terror is really too high for us to... 68's a little too high. For me to think comfortably about it, to continue sailing around. So head back up to Fallen London. We'll turn in our port reports. That'll get us some fuel. And then we will make for our original plan here to go to Aeshaven. Man, I'm super bummed about that. I'm actually really annoyed. Because I did have my eye out on looking for a crab that whole time, and the only one we ran across didn't give us what we needed, and I don't think, judging by the time that we'd gotten between that and the snow child melting, I don't think we would have been able to make it there anyway. Oh, man. It's alright. It's okay. It's just another day, another night, another twilight, whatever this time period is here in the Sunless Sea. The revenue men, Her Enduring Majesty's Customs Service works closely with both the Ministry of Public Decency and the Masters of the Bazaar. Today I've selected you for an inspection. Don't cheek them. So we don't have anything illegal as far as I know. Evidently, if we had Favors Antiquarian, we might have been able to talk our way out of that. But since we don't have anything to hide here, we're just going to set off here. Alright, I hadn't realized that Antiquarian actually gave us any benefits, so I think I'll actually trade in a few things here. We won't trade in the Judgment's Egg. I believe that's pretty rare. Similarly, the Searing Enigmas, maybe an Extraordinary Implication. I thought those could have been turned into something, but it doesn't seem like we have 3 of them, and it doesn't seem as though duplicates can be given anything. We'll start off by turning in some Memories of Distant Shores, because we've got lots and lots of those. Looks like... There we go, we're now on Antiquarian 4. I believe the Antiquarian was 5 for us to have passed that sneak check. Let's see if we get different amounts for trading in. We have 3 extraordinary implications. So let's see if we turn it in here. Let's see. 1 change point, 4 more needed. 3 level 5. So I don't think we gain anything different between the different submissions that we're giving. Yeah. So we'll just keep turning in Memories of Distant Shores here. Just 1 more, which will leave us with 8 Memories of Distant Shores. Get us to 5. So that's that. That's our business with the university and the alarming scholar completed. We'll go and talk to the admiral to discuss all the locations. I wonder if he'll have anything new to say about Pigmote Isle. Seems not. Quaker's Haven, he's going to... Ah, right, he's going to send us away. Perhaps not. Yeah, not a whole lot done there. We did pick up... Let's see how many actual fuel we have. We have 6 fuel now. We've got 33 space. I think we'll sail down... Perhaps we should do a quick cargo run over to Venderbite, because we have lots of visions of the surface there. I won't turn in all of them. I think I'll keep 1 or 2 spare. But we have 9 at the moment, so we've got plenty more than we actually need there. Venderbite is in want of mushroom wine. Not at a very good increase, but any cash is a cash increase so long as it's positive. So I think we'll do that. And who knows? Perhaps we'll stumble across something in Venderbite, an interaction or something of that like. What do they need at the Rose Market? An outlandish artifact. We've got 1, but I think we'll keep holding on to that. Certainly not a solace fruit. Let's see if we can change out the days here. Ah, we can. Honey Addled Detective is collecting watchful curios. I think we can actually get those in Irem. I have seen them for sale somewhere, but I can't quite recall as to where. He's purchasing long boxes. It would have been nice if you had been selling them. But that's not the case here. Nothing to do in our study, I believe. Yeah, it seems not. We could rest here, which is, I think, what we will do to get our terror down, because we're still at 50 here. Now, we don't need any repairs. All we really need is fuel here, so I think we'll buy up just enough fuel to make a 4 and back. I think we'll get 8 to be certain. Go 2 and back from Venderbite, and then we'll get the rest of our fuel over in the Iron Republic. Perhaps we can trade... No, we only have 2 moves in the Great Game. I want to hold on to those 2 extraordinary implications that we have. So I think... Ah, right. We'll buy our extra cargo space. We'll fill that up with the casks of mushroom wine. So we'll sell at a very small profit up in Venderbite. Eight and 8 supplies and fuel should be plenty to get us up to Venderbite. And on the way back, we can stop at Hunter's Keep. Though honestly, at this point, I'm very concerned that stopping at Hunter's Keep will result in the sisters being disappearing and the maid or whomever was she turning into that creature again. Very concerned, considering the luck of our current play, that is going to be what's occurring, what's going to occur if we do that. But I suppose we won't know until we try. And free supplies are difficult to pass up. Let's check out our... Let's see, probably the journal. Whose attention, which god's attention do we have? Because... Let's see, we have only stone. So we need either Salt or Storm's attention from the sisters. And I believe Salt is the one that will absolutely for sure give us supplies as well. That is Cynthia, the eldest sister. We also still have not investigated Tanashuk. And since our terror is actually below 50, I'm somewhat interested in doing that. We'll also take down these Z-Bats before we dock. Another group of Z-Bats off in the distance here. So we'll go grab the corpses. Get some supplies. Perfect. To go and make out to Benderbite. So we can grab the port report first. Then we'll explore as well. A withered garden. Dead fir trees have carpeted a little park with old brown needles. A little group of tomb colonists stands around another lying on a bench. Unexpectedly, find yourself reminded of physicians and midwives at a birthing couch. The colonist on the bench, he's old, withered to sticks, groans horribly, though the fir needles deaden the sound. Something moves in his chest like a sea creature surfacing, or a butterfly breaching a cocoon. The other colonists spot you and close ranks around him. Stay back, Silkskin, one hisses. This is his breaking time. His breaking out. Your time will come. There's a kind of rapture in her voice. We gained a tale of terror, terror itself, and fragments. So that sounds like the moths from the nearly dead man up in the Ragged Crow. It sounded a bit like the moths that were inside him. Interesting. We'll sell all of our casks of mushroom wine here. Don't need to buy fuel, not at those prices, and we'll sell our visions of the surface. I think we'll store 2. Maybe 3? Yeah, maybe 3. We'll store 3 in case we need them elsewhere. We haven't found a place, as far as I can tell, that needs them, but in the event that we do, we'll have them at least. And I'm going to actually immediately submerge and try to see what's up with Tanashuk now that we're not all that afraid here. We don't have tons of fuel in order to spend much time searching around the location, but we will at least be able to traverse for a little bit here. Fortunately, it's not looking like there's anything here at all. It's particularly interesting. I suppose we'll head south while we're under the surface. I don't know if we travel more slowly, but you are not welcome here? What? Whoa, what's that? A Z ship. I didn't see how much health it had. A wrecked ship. Oh yeah, that's way more health than we can take care of. Okay, let's surface. Did we take any damage? I think he missed. Okay, well, that was something. we haven't spent very much time at all under the surface, and so I feel like there's a lot there that we're missing. But I don't want to go under like that because, one, terror is always generally over 50 for us now. It's very rare that it's this low. And two, okay, at least the sisters haven't been disappeared yet. Yeah, and two, there's, like, that ship down there had way more health than I would be comfortable taking on with our current weapons and armor, or and hull capacity, rather. Okay, well, we picked up Salt's attention as we wanted to, in addition to a Tale of Terror and some supply. Oops, we also want to grab the port report here. Man, I'm still really bummed by both of the events that went on today. I am really not happy about those. Because we knew the snow child was melting, but I thought it'd give us significantly more warning. Or at least given us a way to purchase something to preserve him, or ice, or something of that nature. But it just, we didn't have any way to stop that from happening. We couldn't find a crab just because we wanted one. There was nothing to do other than what we did, which was to sail around. Okay, well, we'll submit our port reports. Everything was pretty standard where we went, but they'll get us fuel. They'll get us enough fuel to go down to the Iron Republic here. I think we might sell off some of our Centillic. Maybe even the sack of Dark Drop coffee beans. I'm not sure where we picked this up. We do need 5 of them up in Khan's Glory to bribe our way in, but... You know, since we're hitting the Iron Republic, why don't we try to wrap around instead? So we'll go down to the Iron Republic. We'll kind of waver our way there across Mutton Island and the Command Canal. We'll go to the Iron Republic. We'll pick up 5... up to 5 rather, Dark Drop coffee beans up in down in Port Carnelian. Then we'll sail over to Icehaven, and then adventure into Khan's Glory to deliver those as well. And once we're done in Khan's Glory, we won't be able to get access, unfortunately. We're only at the first 5 donations, so we need 5 total. So we still need 20 more coffee beans to donate to Khan's Glory before we have access to trading in the city there. Really access to the city at all. So we'll have to do that. But I think it's kind of a wide path, but I think if we play it correctly, we should have enough fuel and enough supplies to make it all the way up there. And afterwards, we can go to Irem. That's why I have the spare coffee bean. It's because I wanted to get into Irem. And we do have something to do in Irem as well. So we'll make sail that way. Let's sleep. Can we sleep in London here? Got a new recruit that we could join. But I want to reduce our terror as far as possible. Which will cost us a fair bit of echo, but I think it will be worth it. Yeah, terror down to 24 now. We could even do it a little bit more to drop it down totally. I'll do it once more. Terror at 9, yeah, that's totally fine. We'll go on and set sail for our little U-shaped adventure here. We should sail with our lights off as long as we're by land or by light. So hopefully we won't run aground here. I'm cutting it a little close. And we don't need to take on any opponents here. This crab... Oh, the crab has noticed us first. So, I suppose we'll take him on out of necessity. Oh, shoot. Are you kidding? It was almost fully charged. Blasted beast. Go take it up as supplies. No need to grab Quaker's Haven. They're no longer worth even a little bit. They were worth 5 the last time we turned it in, and that's really not enough to justify going and stopping. Even if it's on screen, it's still just far enough out of way that it'll use up some extra fuel here. Since we can't apparently trust these creatures to handle themselves, we'll go and light them up. We'll forget about the jelly flare right now. We're almost into port, so I don't think it can hit us anyway. Will 2 be enough to get us to the Iron Republic? I think it will be okay. We've also got our supplies if we absolutely get into an emergency and need to burn everything. I think we should be okay with our supplies. We'll see if we can grab anything. Just another vision of the surface, that's okay. I don't think we'll purchase our... Yeah, we'll not try to take this jelly flare. We'll try to take as direct a path as possible to the Iron Republic. Alright, I think that jelly flare should be far enough out of the way that we can turn our lights back on. Keep our terror low. Though, of course, it naturally just circles right back to us. Kind of just keeping pace alongside us. Not sure what that really means for us. Okay, we are practically at the Iron Republic. Got our something awaits us back to spend. So let's see what they can get for us. Since we're not using... Oh, there we go. Since we're not using our something awaits us to listen to our fears, we will be able to check out which market it is and open it up to us. The Parliament of Flies, evidently. Gained hearts... Memory of Distant Shores, and a Tale of Terror. With our port report here. Oops. And let's look at the Parliament of Flies. We could sell our Scintilic, and this is actually a pretty good price from what I've seen before. I don't know if we should hold on to it for another reason, though. I don't believe that we have any need for Scintilic explicitly. Let me just double check our quest log that I've got written down here. No, it doesn't look like there is any particular reason to hold on to it. I believe in Fallen London it's worth... Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, 70 echoes. So this is just a little bit more. That's still... We have a lot in excess, so we'll sell at least some of it. We'll sell, let's say 3. I think holding on to 3 would be enough. And we'll obviously get up our fuel here. Supplies I think we're actually doing pretty good on, and we can't buy supplies here anyway. We could buy parabola linen, but that is actually really expensive parabola linen. perhaps not in the grand scheme of things. Let me check out our chart here. Fallen London prices, since I do believe we can grab it there, are 120 echoes. Oh, so they're actually pretty cheap here. But we know we can get them in Irem for somewhat cheaper. So I don't think we'll buy any here. We'll just get up our fuel. I think we'll buy up to... Well, let's just go as high as possible, I suppose. It looks like 16 will be our max cap. Yeah, I think buying up to 16 will probably do us fine. And that is that. All right, we'll set back off. Not the best possible market. We did sell off the Centilic, but I would have liked to be able to purchase supplies here as well, so we didn't have to go over to Port Carnelian. Though I do tell a lie, we need to go to Port Carnelian anyway to go and grab the Dark Drop coffee beans that we're planning on getting here. But we'll go down to the Grand Geode since we have to use up a little bit of that fuel anyway before we get to Port Carnelian. It's always good to check on our creepy neighbors to the south, the creepy, too shiny, too smiley folk who have somehow taken over Mutton Island? Yeah, Mutton Island. The dock there. There's that dreadnought off to our left. You can just barely see the sparkle as he turned away there. Let's go dock here and see what they have to say. Oops, not that one. I do not wish to talk to him yet. So evidently we can still grab those elements of dawn. We have no idea what this is. I see. For a second I thought it required a extraordinary implication. But it looks like not. Ah, right. That's why. Because it requires 50 supplies, which is quite literally more than we can actually carry. So we'll just set off after having collected our port report there. You're being watched. I'm not sure if that's an actual warning, or if this is just something probably relating to the eye, the dream of the eye. I feel like we should have cleared that by now. I feel like the dream of that eye that we had should have already been fixed, since we pushed away the nightmare successfully. Okay, so we made it to Port Carnelian unassailed. Now, do we have enough space here to buy all that we need? We've got 35. We've got exactly enough space to get 5 more Dark Drop coffee beans, and not a bit more. This includes supplies and fuel. Let's go grab a port report. Mechanates, folks. I suppose it doesn't really tell us anything different anyway. What do our spies want here? Romantic literature, that's right. I think romantic literature is a poor option here, so we'll try to seek another opportunity with our Something Awaits Us. They just require echoes to buy secrets. It is, unfortunately, a challenge. Or we could draw them out with bait using some secrets, which is a surety. And I think that's the option we're going to take here, since we've got quite a few secrets to spare. Bait. A rival agent besets your network. You need to draw them out. Hook, line, and sinker. No spy could resist these secrets and maintain a shred of professional respect. Your quarry betrays himself. Your agents pursue him into the fungal jungle. The matter ends with knives in the violet shadows and blood on the stalks. So we've gained a extra network here. We've lost 2 secrets. So how can we affect influence here? Presumably this doesn't lock me into anything, so I'm actually going to check here. We can influence affairs now in Port Carnelian. Your network's influence in the colony is extensive, or over the colony is extensive. How will you use it? Ah, I see. So, if we had vital intelligence, we could either set up the governor, put them into power a little bit more. We could insert Khanate agents, or we could broker an alliance of tigers here and increase the locals' rule. But it doesn't. We don't have any vital intelligence, so we don't have those options at the moment. Do our spies need anything else? We could bait out another one. We could have a meeting with a rival spy master. Let's use up some more secrets. Let's keep our spy network strong. So, I think we will go and grab our sacks of dark drop coffee beans. And we will make for, as directly as we can here, for a shaven. Maybe we'll hit on Station 3. Sea of Lilies maybe on the way. Maybe we'll clear out this area next to Port Cecil as well. Though I feel like we've done that many, many times, and it never seems to take. Oh, that's right. We need to avoid the vortex seas. And we've got actually terror to spare. I'm wondering if we even leave the lights on at all. Maybe we cut through this mist. That is the most direct route anyway, and that will render our lights pointless, I believe. Yeah, because I think we'll gain 2 fear anyway. We'll just track through this mist, this fog. Looks like our something oasis is back. We are about level with the Fathom King's hold, but there's nothing over here. We'll take advantage of that. Send out a bat, though I highly doubt that we've missed anything here. Yeah. Nothing at all noted. Oops, lights off here. And he is 180 health. I think we should be able to dodge him as long as he doesn't turn here. Whoa. Quick 180 from him. Does he seen us? He's continued to circle. I don't think he has. Yeah, I think we're all in the clear here. Oh, perhaps he's found us this time. He's sailing in our estimated direction. Let's drop our lights and see if we lose him here. Unfortunately, he is making time just as well as we are. There he goes. He's turned around. So So we're good. We'll go and stop off in Station 3, see if I believe it was a sister here, actually, needs us to do anything or watch anything yet. And if nothing else, we can grab the, we can grab a port report. Perhaps not here. Let's see, should we ask for questions or errands? We have 10, and it looks like each of these... Oh, each of these costs a different amount. So, since these require 5, or since it looks like... Well, the max is 7, but I don't think we'll ask that. We'll ask how the metal balls are formed and what becomes of the contents here. These are the metal balls she pulled out of the corpses that we had delivered. So let's go see what she has to say about that. Ask what becomes of the contents of the balls. Or, no, ask how the metal balls are formed. Surely they aren't the product of disease. They're too mechanical for that. Growth. Soothe and Cooper's heart seize tonic, she says. Take it when you're sad. Take it when there's something you don't dare speak about. Take it with wine or with laudanum. Or take it straight from the bottle. It goes down warm, but it turns cold in the body, forms around the thing you don't want to say, and holds it in. From there, her explanation becomes more iatrotheological. Wow, I think I actually got that in the first time. Iatrotheological in nature. There's something about the grief of the reaction of souls with the compound of silence and grief, and something about circulation of blood. She appears to believe these points explain why the metal sets hard and why it takes different shapes in different bodies, and why some users find it necessary to keep drinking tonic all their lives until the balls have grown as large as organs. Interesting. So we can either take copious notes specifically, or we can draw our own conclusions here. There's great detail in what she says that you don't think you've heard any doctor mention before. We have a 2 in 3 chance of drawing our own conclusions successfully. To someone with sufficient medical knowledge, this is all quite enlightening. Let's go see if we can get that done. No, a fail. But if the artery grows there, then the more you concentrate, the less sense it makes. There are 2 or 3 clear ideas, 2 or 3 ideas clear enough to hang on to, but the rest is imponderable. You're not sure that what the acolyte says is even true. Shame. And it looks like we can only do that once. Right, and we can't create a port report because the Admiralty doesn't accept it anyway. So, I guess we set off. I think next stop will be the Sea of Lilies here. There will be sharks and whatnot there. Considering how well that fight with the crab went, I don't think we took a single bit of damage, though it was a bit slower than the others. Perhaps we'll take on some of the stronger creatures of the Neath. Ooh, speaking of stronger creatures of the Neath, there's the shark. Has he seen us? No. Okay, and we want to keep in range of him so our guns keep charging. Okay, he doesn't know where we are just quite yet. Oh, perhaps he does. I can't tell if that's an exclamation mark or... No, he definitely knows. Okay. Just out of range of that charge. We're not going to be out of range of this one, though. 16 damage. That's not terrible. Ooh, but it hits us twice, and it brings us quite a bit lower than I want. We just need one more successful shot here. Not like that. We lost a crew as well. Oh my goodness, if we take another shot, we're down. Okay. Forget what I said about being comfortable with firing against those types of creatures. Wow, what the... Okay. You've defeated a bound shark. Its bonds buckled, its skin torn, its teeth shattered. Examine its cage armature. Someone has bound it savagely with black iron, sunk bands and joined mechanisms deep into its flesh. We don't know what that's all about, but we've got a 44% chance to do. And alternatively, we can use its meat instead. Presumably, that will give us supply. So I want to try this challenge here. We don't have a ton of supply, but we also... I want to know what this does. Failure. A painful mystery. You learn little except that someone is merciless and inventive. The pain this creature must have suffered. You take a tooth as a trophy. If your hull is damaged, your engineer can repurpose some of its cage as repair materials. Oh, we got a hunting trophy. Well, that's nice, I suppose. We gained a little hull back, which is also pleasant. Fortunately, we've gained some terror as well. Okay, so now we need to avoid fights as much as possible. Ah, and there's the prison here in the Sea of Lilies. I had sort of just expected the shark to be, like, named. I thought it was just a bit of flavor text calling it a bound shark, but apparently there's more to it than that. So I wonder how that's sort of to be. We'll go and grab a port report here. Can we buy fuel? It's a little expensive at the moment. Maybe we'll head up to Port Cecil, because that is an Admiralty's port, if I remember correctly. Let me double check the prices we were getting from it. If there was trade to be done, surely it was there. No, it seems not. It seems a trade at just about outside of Fallen London Standard. Now, we are running low here, unfortunately. Around us, there's Scrimshander, there's Guider's Mourn in the direction that we're looking for. There's also Aishaven, but I don't believe we have a market for that, or at least we haven't written down yet. And trading in Khan's Glory or Khan's Heart would be a very poor poor option. So maybe we take the increased prices here or at Port Cecil. I think here would be better if we were going to take that option. And try to do well enough with that. We really only need to make it to here, Khan's Glory, and then I suppose we could stop off. I suppose we could stop off at Frostfound and get our food and supplies topped up for free for having some tea with them. Alternatively, we could explore Frostfound with what we've got. Some interesting options here. I think we will purchase at least a little here. We'll purchase the fuel up to... You know what, we will purchase one of each. And we'll set out, because we can't afford to spend too much. Another bound shark. We can't get into combat with him. That is a losing proposal there. I think that's another to our east. I just saw the corner of him. Though that actually may have been a moray. One of the electric eels, perhaps. Alright, but now that we're in open sea, we'll turn back on our lights here. Noctical Lobe. Looks like we are in the undiscovered zone. But all of these locations have names on them. Why are they considered undiscovered here? I really don't understand. Another one of those bound sharks to our west. I think we've moved far enough out of the way. Wreck of Emperor Wolfgang. Interesting. Discovered Brock's Reef. Presumably that's what's ahead of us here. Very interesting. We are right about at where a shaven is. We can't just sail over there. The creepy skulls in the floor are doing their thing. We hear those voices that will not be truly drowned. Uh-oh. This is the sea of voices where we are close to polythreme, where nothing is truly dead. Okay, we should be able to dock successfully here, though. Ah, okay, so this has apparently some sort of connection with a location called Nook. The effects of prolonged stays in Nook can be reduced in Igel, where memories are sacrificed. So we've got a few options here. Evidently, having more Foxfire candles is better. We've only got the default base of 5. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all its occupants, probably. Why don't you take a look? Well, let's go grab the port report first. Suppose we can talk about their newest member here. Right, the fellow who doesn't want his freedom. Do we offer up the hunting trophy? No. And I don't think we'll explore the Shattered Citadel either. I think we'll try to explore Frostfound with it. Or maybe Nuncio. So I don't think there's anything else to do. And I was correct. There is no market in Ashaven. So it was good that we didn't bank on it for our fuel and supply needs. The Antonine Abyss is evidently in that fog below us. We should be coming up to the Khanate now. We'll just head up straight to Khan's Glory. We can't really do anything in Khan's Heart. At least I don't believe we can. Perhaps we might. Suppose we can stop off, if nothing else. So, seeking commercial license requires a Nephrite ring, which presumably is what we get from our favors with the ruling house here. I forget which house it is specifically. But everything else is extremely costly. Wandering, we could do. Paying a storyteller unfortunately increases our suspicion. Should we grab a port report? It's a pretty tough challenge. Let's try to establish our spy here. It does cost a fair bit of echo, but will give us the option of it. And it is it's greater than a 50% chance now. If you're caught, it'll mean trouble. If you're successful, you can tap your network later for intelligence. And then the diplomatic folk will all be interested here. White and golds are watchful. Your agent does not return. Oh well. We gave it a shot. Oh, unfortunately, we gained 2 more attention from the Kaganian suspects over here. Suspectors, I suppose it would be. Keep our light off since we are smack dab in the middle of... Oh, maybe we won't. Make sure not to run into any corners here. Yeah, maybe we'll keep this up, actually. Ah, the nightmare's back. Let's just keep fleeing the nightmare. It's not, honestly, worth all that much, I don't think. Ah, evidently we were at nightmare strength of 3 previously. Luckily, we have tons and tons of restful nights. We slept twice, and I believe it gives 2 per rest. So we have, even with all of that, I think we still have 3 left. All right, we're back at Khan's glory. So, let's go offer another gift to Leopard, the royal clan of the Khan. The Khan himself has a notorious weakness for coffee, and his court requires suit. Or, his court follows suit, not requires suit. So, we'll go and offer him some more coffee. We're now at 2 favors. And we still need those 5 to, get there. I think we shouldn't increase our suspicion with them anymore, with the Tiaman, because we're already halfway to there being an extreme problem and us not being able to do anything. So we'll try not to do anything that might raise our suspicion other than inserting a spy into the network. Because having a spy in there would actually help us out a lot, especially if it could gain us more favor of various kinds. But I think we'll go and set ourselves up to head to Frostfound. We'll try to adventure around there with our Foxfire candles, if we can. I can't recall quite what it was that you needed in the to adventure around Frostfound. We are about to find out here. I wonder if we ask about the castle before we go in, because we could use the fuel and supplies here. The way you get it for free. Ah, okay, I see. So we need lots of mirrors to go into Frostfound. Right, and we shouldn't enter Frostfound without a good reason. Okay, in that case, we'll take the free supplies. Gained 1 of each and lost a little bit of terror, for good measure. So let's go on over to Irem. We'll sail with our lights off, since our terror isn't very high. Well, while we're by Frostfound and the land there. Discovered Bright, apparently. Interesting. But while we're here, we can at least reduce our terror a bit, since we're close to land with our lights on. Whoa. What is this? Oh, right, this is the initial indicator of Irem. But we now have a coffee to give to the Irem location here. I forget exactly what it was called. We didn't have access to it last time. Now we should. This place does seem to be a bit of a... it's quite the location, really. So let's see if we can do something here that we could not before. Ah, right. So we can send word to the Imperious Sister here. For a fee, the Finger Kings will craft a dream that will tell the sister her brother's regret. Yes, I do believe we should do that. Because we are within the area here. It does cost us our one outlandish artifact, but I think that is acceptable. Your range matters. They will think it is a rather mundane dream that you wish to send. They will hiss over the sepia memory of filing cabinets and documents aflame. They will perhaps recolor the elements of the dream, a vellum document kept in a scroll case. The brother represented by an ape in a Viric suit with white braid trim. However, in its essentials, it will reach the Imperious Sister wherever she may be. Okay, we've delivered the regret, and it is now that's all done there. So let's go grab the port report here that we've already got for some reason. We can get 2 moves in the Great Game, but it will cost us our lamentable relic. And I want to keep that because it does not take up any space and it keeps our options open. At least I believe it doesn't take up any space. Yeah, no, it does not. But let's go visit the location we couldn't before, the House of the Ember Sky. And I suppose I should reread this. Irem, the Pillared City. She will rise from the Zee and ice like dawn. She will be garlanded with red and decked with gold. The Seventh Serpent will always watch you longingly from its high pedestal. You will always arrive as a stranger, but when you leave, some part of you will always remain. The Pillared City. So maybe all of those pillars that I have been reading in our dream statements have actually been relating to here. I thought they were talking about King Ydr's castle. I think that's the correct king location. But maybe they were referring to Irem. And Irem is the place of dreams, so as far as we know. But anyway, let's go into the House of the Amber Sky. Rest, traveler. Our waters are warm, our cushions are petals soft. Lay your head here, you will be healed, or better yet, you will be renewed. Close your eyes. The House of the Amber Sky is a roofless place beneath the false stars of the Neath, rich with the scent of Irem roses. Despite the ice, it's warm as a desert evening. You will arrange yourself on the cushions. Close your eyes for a moment. Ah, the mirror marches. Beneath the skin of dreams, behind the faces of mirrors, an orange sun sails in a fervid sky. Here are the borderlands of that place, close by Irem, and closest still to the House of the Amber Sky, and here you are in another place. So, if we had a wound, we could cure it. We can unlock something here with a Searing Enigma. Or we can simply rest and recover here. Are these each unique, or... I don't necessarily want to spend our Searing Enigma here, so I think we'll just rest, recover, and dream. The jungle around you is rich with violently colored fruit, buzzing with insects and unseen life. Explore a little. A shattered tower. At the top of a low hill, a tower stump stands. The masonry looks Iremi. The door is rotted, the space within filled with thorned vines. But cracked mirrors still hang on the walls, and in each one you see a different scene. Bright-eyed soldiers bind sharks in iron. Claymen war with clothes colonies in the streets of Polythreme. The alarming scholar cracks soul tubes between his teeth. Truth dreams are both. You will wake in the House of the Amber Sky. Your clothes will be stained with the juice of crushed leaves. Oh, we've lost quite a bit of terror. We've gained a memory of distant shores. We've gained some fragments. Okay, so. You can get fuel and supplies. Unfortunately, it is still the same price as everywhere else here. Out here, rather. We don't need any more Tales of Terror. We can buy Z stories, though. And we could, if we so wished, buy extraordinary implications. I think I will buy some Z stories. At least one, perhaps two. This way, if we ever get stuck going to Scrimshander, we'll have enough. I think I'll buy up to that. That way we'll have 10 Tales of Terror and 7 Z stories. Yes, I do believe that is a good trade. Should I get anything else? It is at Irem that we can get a Watchful Curio here. This will cost us a secret, but those we have 14 of. So I think, even though we don't know what it is, probably a good idea. Oh, we could have bought a long box here. You're kidding. We can get bales of parabola linen as well. Man. Maybe we'll get an empty mirror catch box. You can apparently capture sunlight in it. Oh, but we'd probably have to go to the surface to capture sunlight, since I assume you can't get sunlight down here. So that's not really an option we can do. And I believe it's actually contraband. So maybe we'll just get this Watchful Curio instead. We know that there's at least one person who wants it. They want it over in Fallen London in the Rose Market. So we can at least 100% for sure offload it. I think we will buy our fuel stocks here. We've got lots of cash, and this will be an unnecessary expenditure. But we don't have a lot of options here. And frankly, I want to explore around. I'm, well, maybe not too far around, especially considering the prices here. So let's go down here. We'll go across, just around this area over here. Maybe we'll find the Chelonit, I think. It was the description for when we're in this area. Then we'll head over to Nuncio, because that's the location we can now still explore. That's one of the locations that requires the Frostfire candles. I think that's what we'll do. We'll grab... How much fuel will it take to go that distance? Probably, if we wanted to do well, like 8 would be a sure... Yeah, I think up to 8. And I think our supply situation, we probably only need 1 of. So let's go purchase up to 8 here. Oh, we can buy some strange catches as well. Do we buy one, or do we try to wait for one? I'm not sure. I think we'll not buy one. We'll just get our supplies here. And that should be good for us to set off. Now, we have to be very careful in the Chelonit that we don't get attacked by anything, because we do not have the hull to survive it. At least our terror has now gone down. We're definitely in a more positive situation than we were before Irem. And here's where the extremely large skeletons of Z-beasts start to surface. Yeah, we approach the Chelonit. So I have no idea what the Chelonit's all about here. We've heard it mentioned. Discovered the Gant pole. I feel like that's come up in conversation. What's this over to our right? That's another cage. Discovered Shableport. Yeah, it's like a rib cage. Okay, well, there's at least a port here. This will be new. I hope. I wonder what the Gant pole is. Is this the Chelonit? Or is this something separate? Judging by the looks of it, it looks like it's the Chelonit. Damn, throwing caution to the wind. Well, we're a little risky, but I've never encountered the Chelonit. Judging by the area around their waters, I'd assume they're kind of a warlike region. but we're not sure. So the Chelonit, a shell as big as a wild dream. Waves lap the slabby sides of the vast turtle shell, bigger than any cathedral. Chelonits loaf on wooden docks around the shell sides, staring sullenly. Lamps hang like decoration in a festive butcher's window. All around you, the sea is rank with scraps of ancient flesh. Whoa, an opportunity from a redolent flesh merchant, which is our submarine opportunity here. Shore leave the Chelonit? I think that's probably a bad option. Yeah, it seems like they are hunters here. We could obtain a doomed monster hunter. Can grab the port report here. We can... Oh, tails for the bone. Someone is crying unusual wares, follow the sound. Show off our hunting trophy. We could trade that for an outlandish artifact. That might actually be a good trade, because we haven't had... we don't have that outlandish artifact anymore. We traded it somewhere. I think it was in Irem. So I think we might actually do that. Ah, right, and we have to help Maybe's daughter search here. I couldn't understand why she came here to begin with. She gestures around you at the designs sketched on hide and scratched on stone. It's all tattoos. The alphabets of bone and flesh, that's what our family keeps coming back to, she frowns. Our family is strange in every way imaginable. We've got 1 in 3 chance. Wow, I wonder if her mother will show up here. Nope. No luck. I found some of these, though. Well, found. You can have one. Are you going to be stern with me? They have so many trophies they don't know what to do with them. Anyway, we're getting closer. I can feel it. I swear. Ah, she gave us a hunting trophy. So we'll definitely trade one of those hunting trophies then. Hopefully they won't notice that it was definitely stolen from here. I suppose we should grab the port report first. It's not a check or anything. How does one express this very striking smell? The limits of meaningful expression. No matter what details you try to record, the stench creeps in around the edges of the sentences. The Chelonits, watchful despite the reek, movement among the miasmic scraps of long-abandoned monster carcass, frequent duels where the stink is thickest. Ah, I see. Okay. Let's trade off the hunting trophy first. Young Chelonits gather around your ship, pressing their chalked palms to your bow. They demand stories, sure. One story for another. As your tale of combat on the high Z reaches its pitch, you lift the gory trophy above your head. The children scatter. Only a young boy remains behind, staring. He holds out a mask, a mess of tiny bones. Most look like they were scavenged from a dinner plate. Nevertheless, he points at your trophy, your trade. We've got another outlandish artifact back. Doesn't show how much we have. I'm pretty sure that's the only one we have at the moment. Yeah, it is. But let's hear... Oh, no, there it is. Okay. For a second, I thought it had gotten rid of this option. Let's hear the tales for the bone here. Someone's crying unusual wares. Let's follow the sound. Scrimshaw Chronicler. A scrawny man squats beneath an awning of Gant-colored whaleskin. Gant. Hold up, that's one of the colors we need. Oh, that's why the Gant pole made sense to me. Gant is one of the colors that we need for the first curator. Interesting. I wonder if we can find this here. Bring him a tale, see what wonders he can work. Pay the chronicler to inscribe a Z story onto a hunting trophy, and you'll receive an outlandish artifact. Oh, it costs us a supply, unfortunately. I think we can afford it, though. The bones of the matter. Whistling, the chronicler does his work. With a flourish, he returns you a beautifully engraved piece of bone. Good tale, he concedes good enough. He leans closer. You're a Z captain, aren't you? Bring me a tale worthy of the bone, and I'll shape something worthy of you. I've long sought the tale of the glory's end. Glory's what we call this beast. He gestures around you at the turtle shell. None still live from those days when we slew her. But the saying is, the tale lives on history's beach. Bring me that tale, Z captain, please. Interesting. The Neath Bow, definitely one of my favorite storylines in this game. Interesting. Well, we'll have to find out what that is. Was that what happened with the 3 graves over at Shepherd's Isle? Because there were hunters of something, and I can't remember whether it was a turtle or a crab. I think it was a crab. They were cowards, and so they had to get buried over in the Shepherd Isles rather than wherever they came from, but we don't know where they came from. Well, we know at least where we can get outlandish artifacts here. We just need to get Z stories and hunting trophies. I suppose the last thing we should do here is check out this opportunity from a redolent flesh merchant here. Even the Chelonet's hardy folk keep their distance. An opportunity for the flesh, he slithers, drool pouring from between his rotten teeth. The gant pole where the beasties die. I assume that's supposed to be beasties. Bring flesh. We sell it to the turtle eaters. I'm trying to read this and parse the stuttering. Maybe I just give up on parsing it. We sell this to the turtle eaters. Fresher meat. Bring money to the mask. What? No clue. The Gant Pole is said to be deep underwater, mostly by sailors who do not believe it truly exists. Did we not just find it on the map right there? Okay. Evidently, he was required meat, which I had actually assumed was meat, but that may not be the case. Anyway, we should probably write down our purchases here. Doesn't seem like there's actually a lot that we can get. We can't even get fuel here. Wow, how surprising. Can you trust what the people on Shepherd's Isle tell you? I feel like there's at least some truth to their stories, even if it's not explicitly the truth that they said. So I don't know. We'll use it as like a rumor basis to determine what's actually there. Now we're at the Gant Pole. No, we're not at the Gant Pole. We're at Shavelport. Well, let's see how it shows up on the map. Oh, no, it actually shows up as the Chelonet. So this is the Chelonet. Interesting. So the Chelonet has for trade to mark down in our undersea economy here. A carboy of primordial streaks. Primordial IEKS. Only for sale, though, for 37 Echo. Considering I've never come across any of it, I don't think that's a good deal. A casket of sapphires, which we do have, but that was because we were informed that they liked them at the Khanate. Sells for 99. $99 echoes. Mount Nomad's Heart. I think we've actually seen Mount Nomad before. I think it was like moving under the water or something. It had a massive health pool. But we don't know what it is. Certainly not a mountain. But if we do end up killing the extremely high health pool of it, we get one, what is that, a Searing Enigma? Yeah, Searing Enigma. And we can sell a Whispering Trophy Case. Bring Trophy Case. I think that's what we create in our study here. Mount Nomad is cool as hell. And I think it is. It's actually a mountain? We're just fighting a mountain? I just assumed it was like an underwater, mostly underwater sea beast. Interesting. Well, that's good to know. Whispering Trophy Case sells for 150 Echo. Now, I swear the Whispering Trophy Case was something you made in your study. That does not seem like a very good price for it, considering how much it takes to make. And then lastly, the only thing that we can buy here, Stygian Ivory. That's purchasable for 26 Echo and sells for nothing at all. Well, it's an interesting place to be sure. Yeah, it doesn't have a shipyard, but, you know, just in case it does. I think that's all we can do here. So let's go sail across to Nuncio and see what the... Oh, discovered Porzia's Reef. Interesting. Let's see what we can go find underground at Nuncio. We'll have to sail pretty much directly through the Khanate, but that's totally fine. Discovered... Ah, Khan Shadow. We actually need to know... we need to go here for something. I also don't see it. Wow, it is really shadowy. Judging by the name, it's somewhere to our south here? Ah, there it is. Oh, and it's a bunch of ships. Okay, try to turn around here. So the entrance is on that side. Discovered Wanderer's Haven, evidently. Maybe we'll be able to get stuff here? Discovered the Iron Quarter. So I wonder if this is as well tied to the Khanate in terms of having their economy locked and everything as the other locations here. Oh, and by the way, the tutorial book tells you this, so I don't feel like this is backseating, turning off your life. Light saves you fuel and helps you hide from enemies. Yeah, I know that. I've been keeping the light on because we're in a mostly undiscovered area, and I think it actually helps with finding those locations. If it comes up into the light, you don't have to get quite as close. Also, we've been considering going underwater, and keeping our terror below 50 is imperative to make sure that we don't run into, was it the Constant Companion, that creepy like spider thing there, because it has almost destroyed us before. I was very close to it. But hey, we found the Khan's Shadow finally. Wait, how do you have the submarine? Well, I picked up the DLC, and I did the quest a few streams back, so we have picked it up before. I think that quest starts in Port Carnelian? Yeah, I think that starts in Port Carnelian. How do you have the submarine without discovering the Chelonate? So you don't actually need to go here. I found my option, I believe, at Station 3 to get the Zonar, because there are two options. You can either find it in Khan's Shadow here, or you can find it at Station 3, or maybe it's Station 4. One of the Admiralty-controlled stations is where you can grab the resources for the Zonar. I know you don't need to go to the Chelonate, it's just an odd sequence of events. If you look at our map, it's pretty far out here. It's like all the way on the shore. We've been kind of just sailing our way up and down here. So getting over here was kind of just, we decided we'd do a full trip over to the eastern edge and then back. Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit odd. I am still pretty new to the game. We finally found Khan's Shadow, so we can get some of our events here done. Our quests that we've listed down. We've got... Let's see. I swear we had a quest that required that we go to Khan's Shadow. Perhaps we completed it in another way? Ah, Maybe's daughter. This could also be a location that she could be at. And it's actually the very last location under the surface. So if we don't find her here, we have to go up to Naples. Interesting. Yeah, I can't seem to find anything else for why we'd need go to Khan's Shadow, but I guess we're here now. So Khan's Shadow, the city that swam. Long ago, the Khanate turned its back on its warrior traditions, so it has no place for pirates and would-be nomads. So here, in the Shadow, the exiles make their home amid 100 wrecked, grounded, decommissioned ships. There's a man staring at us, apparently, rather intensely. What does he want? Another doomed monster hunter. Interesting. Oh, the rebel lords of the Khanate are hungry for the secrets of the Dawn Machine. One among their number would volunteer to die for you should you provide what they need. Ah, and apparently we need an element of dawn there. Oh, and actually, we know where to get an element of dawn. It just costs us an absurd amount of supply. It costs us 50 supplies to get, but we know where to get it. We can get it in the Grand Geode. Interesting. If we ever get a bigger ship, I suppose we'll know to do that. We should compile the port report here. So many malcontents, so little time. Closely written notes, conniving, debauching, speechifying, drinking, singing, speeching, poeting. Now and then a drunken duel, very occasionally a savage ritual murder. Oh, interesting. Suppose that makes sense here. Have a one-eyed scrimshander carve something from your hunting trophy. His tools are laid before him in a neat row. Trade a hunting trophy for 4 watchful curios. Oh, so that's another way to get that. But we don't have a hunting trophy because we've traded them both out at the Chelanet. That'll be good to know. And then lastly, but definitely not least, we can finally help Maybe's daughter search for her mother again. And we have a 64% chance of having her show up here, so hopefully we don't need to go to the surface. She was a spy once, I think. I think she might still be one. Well, a lot of us are freelancers anyway. Look, perhaps you shouldn't say that to anyone at the Admiralty. I do talk nonsense when I'm nervous. No luck. She murdered a white and gold here last month, or someone else in Lilac did. It's an unlucky color here, I think. But let me tell you something else I heard, and then we can look somewhere else. And then we can look elsewhere. We'll find her. Well, we got to move in the Great Game for it, but I guess we're going to the surface. We're going to Naples. If we want to complete that, because that is every single location in the Neath that could possibly have held her mother. Wither, the Isle of Cats, Irem, Chelanet, the Khan's Shadow, or Khan's Shadow, the Chelanet, Port Carnelian, last but not least, Naples. Okay, does this have a shop? Oh, it does. Oh, and it's got a fairly extensive shop, too. Ah, and it's got fuel at not terrible prices, either. As well as outlandish artifacts. It's not great prices, but I think it's some of the better ones that we'll get out here. Oh, and evidently we could get Milebreaker. This frankly sinister device reduces the amount of fuel that an engine uses. It also really frightens the crew. Apparently that's necessary. And it equips to aft as well, which is actually a slot that we have. Nope, I do tell a lie. We don't have that one either. Really got to upgrade this ship. If only it didn't cost quite so much. Let's list down the shops here in our undersea economy pages, because it is pages now. And then we'll go and talk to the man who is staring at us quite intently. So, in Khan's Shadow, we have, or rather, they want Devil Bone dice. They want them. They will be willing to pay us 22 echoes there. A cask of mushroom wine, which they want for 23 echoes, which is pretty much standard, unfortunately. A star shell. Interesting. Star shell, which they want for 500 echoes. That's more like it. The figurehead of the Eater of Names. That sounds like a ship? $250 echo. And then we can buy more Stygian ivory. Though it looks like this is just a little bit worse, a little bit more pricey. For 27 echoes when it was 26 echoes in the Chelanet. And then a crate of human souls. Oh, lovely. Though I think we can actually get that in Fallen London, so maybe it's not as distasteful as I think. A mirror catch box of full of very angry dream snakes. That's pretty funny. Okay. Dream snakes. That must be from Irem in some way. Dream snakes? Oh yeah. I'm just imagining angry hissing coming from the box. It's just, yeah, you want this box? It's got some very happy snakes. Yeah, not angry at all. It's 500 echoes there. They've got fuel. Oh, joy, they have fuel. Fuel for sale for 15 echoes. Supplies for 25. That also we can sell back for 15. And the only place that I think I've seen where we can buy outlandish artifacts outright. We can get them for 150 echo and sell them back for 100. We could get an empty mirror catch box, though we're not going to, because that, well, I guess we are going to the surface eventually, to help out Maybe's daughter. Buys for 250 echo and sells for 200. A captivating treasure that you can also outright buy. Interesting. Purchasable for 1500 echo, so you can technically buy it, but it's probably not a very good financial decision. And sells for 1,000. And then the Mile Breaker, which goes on your aft, which sells for 2,000 echoes. But increases your fuel efficiency by 10%, so not the worst. Now that we've written down all of that economy stuff, let's see what the staring man wants. Gaze is rather intense. What does he want? Apparently, this is the Severe Chemist, a commission. The Severe Chemist glares at you over his glasses. Beneath the Z Captain, there is a city of murderers. Within it, a plant known as Tether. Bring me a jarful and I will pay you handsomely. Sure? I don't know how literal he's being with a city full of murderers. Is it like a prison or something? Perhaps? Not quite sure. But we'll write it down. I think we'll accept it. You'll get him a jar full of tether, no trouble. Might as well. Let's see, shoot, I forgot. Severe Chemist, I think, something like that. Yeah. Oh, you want to find it in Rack? That's a city of murderers? Well, I mean, technically. Alright, well. He smiles in the manner of a corpse whose skin has just dried out. Excellent, you'll find it in Rack, City of Pleasures. I'll be waiting for you on the Uttershroom, where my studies continue. He wants a jar of tether. We need to bring it to the Uttershroom, which we've actually not found in this playthrough. Found it once before, but not this time. Well, that's that interaction. I think we'll buy up not too much of this. I think we'll get up to, let's say, 5 supplies? Maybe 6. Yeah, 6 supplies and 8 fuel. We are really losing a lot here. We were over 1,500 at one point, but now we've gone back down just on this voyage out here. I guess that is the risk you run when you're sailing out into unknown waters. And I think you're actually right. Since we're going back into known waters, we'll turn off our lights here because we do have the terror to spare. Oh, and actually, heading back in this direction, we'll be passing by. No, I do tell a lie. I was about to say we'd be passing by Rack, but I was thinking of Antha. Rack is actually down here. So we'll get to do that in a different occasion. We'll head by the light here. Actually doing very well on fuel. And our terror is starting to actually add up. I forget how fast it goes up when it's in, when it's at full terror, at red terror. Really just tend to add up. Right, but yeah, this is Nuncio ahead of us. Uh-oh. Something else wants a bite of us. What wants a bite of us? I don't know. I didn't see it. Okay, but anyway, we've reached Nuncio. So let's go back to work as a postman. We'll go grab the port report here. Uniform behavior, cataloging all the peculiarities of the place takes many pages. There's a tailor who imports gilt buttons and braid just to be able to keep everyone's uniforms in condition. The fashion of wearing a post bag with nothing inside it, wearing it open, wearing it upside down, torn apart, or as a hat, wearing it in any way that will show that it doesn't have letters in it. Then there are the sitting rooms, pampered in canceled stamps. The bergamot pomegranate curd on toast. The commerce in rat corpses, the hatred of cats, the absolute custom against ever issuing paper invitation for any event, no matter how formal. It's the familiarity, the not quite Londonness of the place that makes it all so odd. There was that one cat that we found in a box and we kind of released on the island, so hopefully they don't know it's us. Do not return, sender. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can explore along the beach here. Right, and we know that there is hollow under the shore. We've already done the soundings before. We can either... Well, we can rescue a squashy parcel with our something awaits us. I think we might actually do that. Accepting no further, says a red scrawl across the wrapping. A funny smell, and little wonder, the string of rats within may once have been fresh and to certain tastes delectable. It is now rather worse for decay. Giving the parcel's contents a hasty burial is the best you can hope to do. Just before you dispose of it, though, note the recipient's name and address, a name of some power worth remembering. Okay. Well, that's that, I guess. So, we could collect some material here for the dead letter office. Suppose we might as well. We're going back to work there. Let's go grab it. That's where this flotsam belongs, so it can be sorted. Will of its own, you make your way along the shore with the big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their addresses permanently lost. But a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message, and a wine bottle, a sealed cask that has bobbed out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy, but with all these contents, but it pulls upward and away, straining inland toward the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. We've got some dead post. So let's head back now. Suppose we could visit the tavern before we go into work. The Inky Blotter, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. So, shall we show them our sack here? Perhaps. Yeah, sure, why not? Show off your sack of undeliverable post. It's full of conversation starting bits like this parcel with the bloodstains. Take it away. Everyone flinches when you open the sack. The bartender speaks for everyone. What's wrong with you bringing that stuff around here? Take it around to the dead letter office. Wonder you can even carry it. What with the pull? Ah, so the pull isn't a psychological thing. It's the literal thing. About the letters that are getting pulled in. Interesting. Okay. Well, we lost a bit of Postman's friendliness right there. So let's trade some more stories about that. You know how to fit in. Common ground. The parcels you've weighed and entered in the logbooks, the things that oozed out of them. The postmen are delighted by your incredulity and shock. A civilian finally understanding the full horror of the post. They have stories even worse than those, let me tell you. Hang on a moment. Postmaster Scritch, we've all heard your rubbery lumps story today already. It's nothing to the tomb colonies, colony pickles. Pickled what is what I want to know. Pickled what is what I want to know. What about that Soothin Cooper crate and how we had to scrape the bits off the masonry? Do you remember? The night runs late. Okay, we've been accepted again. I don't know if I want to borrow a uniform. I don't think I do, especially if I'm exploring down there where it seems like it ought not to be explored. Perhaps we can ask, actually, about the caverns here. It seems that we can. Let's talk about the caverns below the dead letter office. Someone must know something or be curious. Perhaps not. You don't get far into your question before the hairless postwoman stands up and goes over to the fire, holding herself tightly. She's whispering nothing coherent. Fire, clean, smooth. Down to the bone, no excuse. Smooth, smooth, little black hairs. Still your fool tongue, says Blunt Thomas. Oops. Okay, I shouldn't have asked about it. Let's trade some more war stories so you like me again. My bad, my bad. Alright, but finally, let's go into our shift here. The bell chimes above the door. The fellow man in collections looks awake for half a second when you come in until he realizes you're there to relieve him. So we'll go and deliver our letters, our undeliverable letters. And let's go converse with the postal rat here. Regulations. Oh, no. That wouldn't be permitted at all. Or no, I see. Why doesn't it make a machine like this one back in London might lead to fewer dead letters in the first place? No, that wouldn't be permitted at all. There are strict rules about the initial handling and sorting of post. An experimental machine might mangle the letters. It's only the dead material that is unimportant enough to be entrusted to a Ratus Faber. His voice isn't bitter, but he twists a coil so hard that it springs out sideways out of the machine and pings off your shoe. Oh, he likes me. The Ratus Faber here. So I think it's now time to descend to the basement with flame. We've got our Foxfire candles. We've got our flare equipped, properly equipped. Candles for the way and a flare for the bottom. Let's go see if we can actually figure out what's going on here. Spiral on spiral on spiral. The descent is long and slow. You count the turns at first, but the time comes when you can't see the square of light from the door above and can't mark how far you have come around the spiral. You exhaust one candle after another. At the end, you come to a place where the ramp opens onto a bowl-shaped floor. The cavern must be hundreds of feet wide here. You light your flare, but even that does not show the cavern walls. The floor is carpeted with... At first you think it is gravel, but no, it is broken shards of clay and stone, all scribbled over in words too old to read. At the center of the space is a needle of deep black rock, glossy as resin, glittering with ice, inscribed with 3 arcane sigils that hurt to look at. You feel a meaning in their presence, a prohibition or a commandment, that all things must come to their destined place. What cannot be delivered immediately must be saved against a future date. That a message that goes unheard is a tragedy. That the signal must be carried, no matter how far, no matter through what darkness, no matter whether the sender still lives, nor whether the recipient can even read the language of the writing. The inscription resolves itself and is known to you. No word lost. Wow, and we received a searing enigma for that. Fascinating. Climbing out. The climb is slow and takes a long time. Could you possibly have come down this far? Surely not. Your breath grows ragged and your legs cramp. So, do we ascend or do we sit down a moment? I'm kind of worried that if we sit down for a moment, something bad is going to happen to us in the dark. Though more could perhaps reveal itself to us. I don't know. What should I do here? I feel like sitting down is probably a poor idea. I think we're just going to keep ascending here. Ascend, there's no way out but up. At the surface. The dead letter office is still here, its machine still working, its basket still filling with missed invitations and misplaced wills. Shouldn't have been blasted away, destroyed by the force of what lies below. No, evidently not. Yeah, let's tell our postal rat friend what we found. Tell the postal rat what you saw below. Maybe he will be curious. Without name, you start to explain, but your language doesn't have the right words to express it. The weight of the delivery commandment, the sacred necessity for every word to reach its destinations, and the countless individual miscarriages of meaning from one entity to another, which have occurred throughout history and are still occurring to the detriment of the whole universe. He holds up a paw. Not going to understand it, no matter how much you explain, he says. And I'm glad, as if I did understand, I'd be likely to run mad working where and as I do. After a moment, he adds, likely you'll forget, at least forget some of it. After all, you never wore the uniform. Then he points out where your hair has singed at the temples and gives you an ointment he keeps in a drawer. So it was a good idea that I didn't wear the uniform. That is definitely a good idea. Well, I mean, I assume he's just, yeah, assume he's just going to say the same thing. I guess we just end our shift. We don't have anything else to do here. Return to the docks. You're finished here for now. So. Ah, I see. So now that we know why they're being called, probably the uniform is what kind of binds them to that tenet. So we can either judge the postman in light of what you know, or honor the postman in light of what you now know. All have tried. I think we're going to honor them. Saints and martyrs. Nothing about them now seems comical or strange. The regulation maintenance of their uniforms is a mark of holy dedication. Their scars are earned by faith and hard work. They were given an impossible task, but none excuse themselves just because of that. The hairless postwoman sees your glance and returns a rueful smile. Okay. Well, we know how things are done here. We know why they're done. I think we head out. There's nothing else to be done for them. Shall we head to Rack? Perhaps. We've got the fuel and the supplies for it. We could stop by Guider's Morn as well. See how that pirate cove is going. And it'll also allow us to clear out some of this space in the middle here. So let's do that. Oh, there's actually a rat ship there. Stuck in the vortex. I didn't even notice until he turned. Well, at least the rats survived somewhere. I didn't kill off the entirety of Pigmote Isle by suggesting they fight without the might to protect them. I still feel so bad about that. I got the entirety of Pigmote Isle just killed. Curse those people at Visage. Curse them indeed. Oh, there's a dock here? Is it underwater? It must be. To the southeast. Okay, let's submerge, I suppose. Whoa, what What is this? Discovered nook. Okay. So that was mentioned. Apparently, if we spend too much time here, then we can get rid of it at Antha. Right? I think that was what that said. I guess we're gonna learn what it is. The edge of Nook. A gap in this colossal Z monster's throat has been forced open with thick heart metal beams. They strain under the pressure but hold. As you pass through, your submarine lights pass over a message carved in a floating piece of some unfortunate's hull. Beyond is Nook. Beyond is freedom. Beyond is. The rest is scratched out. Do we enter Nook? I mean, I guess so. That's the only option we have. Water presses against the airlock door. The breathing and slithering of the beast gives it the rhythm of a drumbeat. Trespasser and freedom. You don your heavy diving suit and give the order to cycle the airlock. Water rushes in. You begin the slow swim down into the port. It soon becomes obvious that you were overdressed for the occasion. The people of Nook swim and breathe in the cloudy maw water with no apparent discomfort. Most are naked, with just a few clad in rotten rags that stream from their skin with no concern for modesty. None will communicate with you, even if they can. Those who acknowledge your presence just laugh silently at your bulky suit and unnecessary air hose. You'll need a different approach. I guess we descend naked. Let's check out, is there a shop? Oh, there is a shop tab. Okay, I really didn't expect that to happen. And it has amazing deals here. It's essentially the same as in Fallen London with only an extra price on the fuel. Wow. Okay, that's neat. So let's get this jotted down. Nook evidently wants sunlight-filled mirror catch boxes, which they will give. Let's see, sunlight filled mirror catch boxes. Which they will give us 7 sapphires. Yeah, 7 casket of sapphires. They want bolts of spider silk. For 53 echo. Pretty good. You can buy torpedo components. For 5 echo. And then sell for nothing. Fuel. Amazing deal to get it for only 11 echo. And I suppose if you really needed to, you could sell it for 1. Not a big need there. Supplies for 20 echo. And sells for 5. And last but not least, Stygian ivory. Another place that sells it here for 26 echo. Same price as the Chelonite, but not nearly as far out here. Okay. Wow, I really did not expect there to be such a good shop here. I guess let's descend naked into Nook. At least you're unlikely to run into anyone you know. You undress, every button, every stitch. The door opens, ice-cold water rushes upwards. Instinct holds your mouth shut. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Your lungs burn, holding in that last gulp of air. Your legs thrash. You can't hold it in, it escapes. You're choking on water. It forces its way into your lungs. The taste of burning salt suffocating your every attempt to gasp, scream, or... Then, through the exhaustion and panic, you realize you're breathing. It's hard work. Your lungs fight against the weight, but it's enough. You can tolerate it, at least for now. The liberal application of wine will make this process easier. In future, bring a cask. Beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. Freedom is never stagnant. Interesting. and we'll apparently find a story when we next make port. Interesting. The ruptured throat. A torn, pinned-back cavity in the flesh wall offers access to the city's monstrous host. Razor-sharp teeth, the size of buildings, jut from fatty, garnet-red flesh. Many teeth have been quarried out into homes barricaded by scraps of wood from shipwrecks. So, let's go compile a port report first. No one here has anything to hide. Actually, no one here is hiding anything at all. Tolerance for Nook water. This increases as you do more in Nook, but the more you do in Nook, the more Nook will change you. Notes on Nook. A vile place, festering, acidic. No laws but those of tooth and claw written in scars. Civilization, impossible. Making tea would be a logistical impossibility. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come here from London, from the Khanate, the Presbyterate, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and carefree. Many have nothing and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers darts past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder companionably. You've never met her before. Interesting. So we don't want to lose too much here. Or we don't want to do, rather, too much here. Let's go... Shoot. Let's swim upwards to the Great Maw. A twitching cathedral of ivory, flesh, and decay, the Maw curves far enough to be swallowed by the darkness of the Zee. Entire shipwrecks have been mulched between hooked teeth that dwarf London's mightiest monuments. We can gaze up through the Maw. Not many zailors have seen the Zee from this angle. We can join some tooth miners. Oh, that might probably give us a strange trophy. Investigate an etched tooth house. A flinty latitudinarian keeps its upper cavities filled with compressed air, allowing a number of activities otherwise impossible in the watery nook. Let's gaze up through the Maw. Crunchy, writhing beauty. Light glitters where the false stars shine on the surface of the Zee, framed by the Maw's dormant teeth. How ancient is this creature? What happens if it swallows? Okay. I've only got one bit left for that, and I'm gaining... Yeah, I think it may be... I don't know if it's time to leave. I don't know what happens if I lose that last tolerance for Nook water. I'm not sure if things end up poorly, if I can't return to the surface, or if something happens such that I need to go to Antha. Let's investigate here. There's air, so maybe I can breathe out this water. I don't know. Let's check it out. The external surface of the tooth is covered with engravings, rows of battling soldiers, some with the heads of dogs, a mountain ablaze, ships riding on a river, and each ship has a human mouth. Wait, what? Can you breathe Nook water now? Sorry, just joined. Yeah, in Nook specifically, I can breathe the water, and so can everybody else here. The Zailing's going all right. We had quite a few unfortunate events happening. We've unfortunately lost the Snow Child, and Pigmoat Isle has been burnt to a crisp, probably by the people at Visage, judging by the battlefield. So that's very unfortunate. But we've made it to Nook here, which is evidently an underwater creature. A mountain ablaze, ships riding on a river, and each ship has a human mouth. You swim inside and up to the chambers of eggy air. The flinty latitudinarian. In the cavities of his etched tooth home, trapped air pockets allow an activity largely forsaken in Nook, conversation. A handful of Nook folk gather there to reminisce. Brevity is admired. The air is precious and rapidly fouls. The latitudinarian watches and listens. He carries He keeps a merciless peace within his house and cares not a damn for what happens outside of it. So, I guess we can give our recent news here and listen to their stories in turn. Let's go get some intriguing snippets. Might as well. How did the snow child die? He just ran out of time. We couldn't find a strange catch or a hunting trophy fast enough to trade for him to get into Station 3. So he just melted. It was very unfortunate. I'm still bummed about it. But as for the stories here for recent news, the Lauren Flukes never used to be like this. Oh, they were spiteful and unpredictable, but they never had ambition, not before the London and the Khanate taught them it. Lauren Flukes. I don't know what those are. Interesting. Intriguing snippets. Well, we've got 2 of those. Let's get back out there. We only have the 1 now. All right, we're gonna swim back down to the ruptured throat. Okay, it didn't use those 2 options. Didn't use anything up. I think it's probably a good idea to return to the submarine before something unfriendly happens here. Better not leave the crew waiting too long. You swim into the airlock and alert the crew. Air flows in. You retch the last of Nook water from your lungs. Return to the crew. Air again. How refreshing. Okay. Crew salutes you as you pass. Good. All is well. Anything that happened to Nook shall remain in Nook. Well, we could go back in. Oh, no, we can't go back in. We actually need a cask of mushroom wine in order to do that. Well, yeah, that's everything we can do in Nook, I suppose. Let's go and undock. We'll head to the surface. Our terror is still low. Maybe we'll travel underwater for a little while. But now that I think of it, perhaps that's not a very good idea. What is this? Oh, it's an island. Okay. We'll travel underwater for just a bit. If we see anything nasty, we'll immediately surface. I have accidentally surfaced now because I got very scared of that rock. But, it'll be fine. We're right outside of Guider's Morn. Yeah, Guider's Morn is just to our south here, so we can go see how the Corsair's Forest is doing. We are unfortunately at 3 fuel. I thought we'd be doing a little better. I suppose we've had our light on to keep our terror from getting too high. Perhaps we can buy some more here at a somewhat reasonable price. Guiders more and step carefully. Oh, right, so we can lure more glory seekers to Rack here. Which we will definitely do, since we're headed kind of over to Rack. Actually, I think we will be headed over to Rack. That's kind of the path we were taking anyway. Higher. Now the Untersea shimmers like glass below. Children clambering in crevices cheer and wave alarmingly. The winch motor slows, and you hang in a cradle next to a red-bowed pirate cutter. A city on a spire. Well, let's go lure them in. You hear boasts echoed up and down the Morn, resounding from every tavern. I will be the deadliest captain of the sea. Spin the Mistori of danger. You stand on top a bar, a bitter pint in hand. A few bemused drunkards watch. Who wants to be a hero? You ask, gesturing so your drink sloshes onto a grimy face. Who wants to die? Who wants to be a proper damn hero? The Zailors' songs die. They all watch enthralled as you speak of a place for the fiercest, where gigantic mouths bite through hulls and devour ships from the inside out. Where leviathans crack ships like eggs and eat. You zailed by such a damned ship, were too afraid to fight the terror below. But these captains, these heroes, before you even finish, a half dozen have rallied their crews for the docks. They'll sink over Rack in no time. 8 ships sent to Rack? Wow. I hope Rack treats us well then. So we could explore. We've not been sending stolen ships over here, nor do we have any docile Blemigans. We still have our Blemigan officer, but we've never found a docile one. Presumably they can only be found at the Utter Shroom. We could trade a Drowning Pearl for 2 Solace Fruit. Ooh, that's an amazing trade. Solace Fruits are super expensive and super rare. I think I'll absolutely do that. A Gleaming Marauder is assembling an immense hoard of Drowning Pearls. His teeth are gold, his rings wink with scintillic. A locked box sits beside him, containing delicacies retrieved from the Wispways. Another pebble for the mountain. He is ambitious and plans to marry a princess of the Leopard clan. How many pearls would be an appropriate offer, do you think? 10,000? 100? Fathers can be prickly. Take a pair of Solace Fruit from his trove, their flesh plump and glistening. Cool. Well, now we have that. We needed Solace Fruit for a few other things as well. We needed it for the Brisk Campaigner, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, we need it for the Brisk Campaigner. It's one of the many things she requires, which also include a Strange Catch and Mutersalt and a Docile Blemigan. Last of which is the only thing we don't know how to find, really, because we know Mutersalt is at a few locations. Other than that, it's just a really nice thing to have some of those things. So, unfortunately, it appears he's gone away. That's alright. I see we don't have anything awaits us anymore. Shall we gather intelligence here? 7 of 10. We already know of the pirate poet. Apparently hunts far from London. Maybe we'll risk it for a port report here. It's a 50% chance here. Let's see if we can grab it. Failure. Nope. Eavesdropping on the captain of a lean black cutter when her first mate spots you. In the ensuing fracas, one of your crew is smashed through a flimsy wooden wall. He falls 200 feet to be impaled on a smaller stalagmite in the shadow of the morn and dies instantly. It's a painful death, but his slowly mummifying corpse will hang there for generations to come. Ships will salute it. Successive generations of children will name it, rename it, fling stones, dare each other to climb the pinnacle and kiss its fleshless hand. Oops. Well, we got the port report, at least. We've also gained a tale of terror and a bit of terror itself. So, my bad, sailor. I think that's all we can do here. All we should do here, at least. We'll sell our firkins of prisoners' honey here. We'll sell... I think we'll sell both. Fuel's really expensive, though. How expensive is fuel at Rack? Because that is the location we're headed next. And we're not very far out from it. Let's see. Fuel is only 20 echoes at Rack, so I think it's a better idea to wait for Rack. It'll still be expensive there, but it will be cheaper than it is here. Okay, so we'll just head out here. Not going to get anything else. We'll turn our light off, our lamp. And we'll just head on over to Rack. We can see if we can grab the tether there. We haven't found the Utter Shroom yet, so we won't be able to deliver it. Let's see, how's our terror doing? 30? Okay, so it's not at a high enough level to be causing us problems here. Ooh, that's a big ship, though. We are near the salt lions. If he sees us, we'll just sink. Luckily, it doesn't seem like he's seen us yet. And we are coming up to Rack, so we'll start sinking anyway. Oh, once we clear Rack's area. Ah, come on. I wish it would be more clear as to when you were over an obstruction just on the map, because there's no separation as far as I can see between here and like over there where we couldn't sink. It does that in some places, but not in this particular location. Let's go get ourselves over to Rack and see if anybody's come to get over here. Okay, so we could go wrecking. Taste the tether. We don't have that right now. Oh, shoot, we didn't have... if we'd kept one of the firkins of prisoner's honey, we could have provide for the disgraced tether priest. Oh, well. We'll grab the port report. We'll consider the state of the city. Stores are low. Okay, yeah. Everything... they still require supplies. Unfortunately, we don't have that much to spare at the moment, so... let's go talk to the king. Let's ask if any of our ships have come in. Yes, your ships came. Promise them riches, promise them knowledge, promise them pretty toys. It's all the same. They come, and our stores replenish. The tether has hulls to grow on. Take this gift of scrap to the priestess. Look for me in other times. Sweet, and we got some, just a tiny bit of echo for it. Are we still alive? You have, like, no fuel. I've been very carefully rationing my fuel. I've been purchasing only as much as I needed to, and we can get more here as well. For an okay price, not a terrible price. I think I'll actually buy a firkin of prisoner's honey here, and then I'll go give it to... oops. I'll go give it to this disgraced tether priest. We'll be able to set that up. And it only cost me one supply, and we've got enough to make it back to Fallen London here. So we'll get that. Give it here. There's a gluttonous priest, the Wreckers of Void, who lost his ability to experience tether after carelessly letting it touch his hand. Now he goes to debasing lengths to experience another vision. Well, here is some prisoner's honey. Blue skies. It's not difficult to find a private cabin. The Wreckers avoid him already. When you present him the honey, he snatches it from your hands and slurps it down. He bites onto the floor, eyes glazing, his voracious bites turning into stupid nibbles. A jar full of tether rolls out of his robe right before he vanishes bodily. Also, the delay on the stream is incredibly short. How fast is your internet? It's okay. It depends. Sometimes people have it delayed further than others. But yeah, we got the jar full of tether now. Okay, apparently we didn't actually need to go to the tether room. But I do want to go in there to trade our scrap for it. Well, no, we'll not approach the mirror. That'll use up our something awaits us. I think we will taste the tether here. So the last time, I think we lifted the cup here. This time, let's grasp the knife, you know? Let's leave it on the edge here. A handle of horn, a polished blade. There are possibilities in so fine an instrument. Is the balance ever so slightly off, it winks at you in the light. The matron leads you to one of the many doors. You follow her into the darkness beyond. Visions with the knife. The matron lights a gas lamp. The room is modest, with a well-kept bed in the center. Rest, allow your mind to wander. When you are ready, I will give you the tether. You look away, allowing your attention to settle on the smell of the lamp or an envelope. An envelope. How it reflects the light, how it is to hold it at last. Tether melts in your mouth. You smoke in bed, propped up by downy pillows. Yellow light floods from the window. You glance at the clock. Shouldn't the postal service run without rest now that the sun never sets? How much longer? Wait, was that the letter plate? You throw your sheets off and run to the door. There, a letter from her. You tear it open. She begins with, "My dearest." She ends with yes. Interesting. I've still got no idea what that's actually doing. State of the city, no more than 16. You have 13. I'm very concerned by that. But, well, let's go see where they want us to go next. Khan's Heart. Evidently where they want to send me. So assuming we actually get there. Oh, no, maybe we don't actually need to go inside. Perhaps we can do it on the, like, introductory docking area. But at least we know where to go. Well, did this tell us anything? I don't think so. We'll head out then. We'll head on back to Fallen London. We're almost back there. Oh, there's something over here. Is it a friendly something? Sighted Corsair Undergalley. Oh, it's alive. Okay. Oh, but it's actually not that big a problem. Oh, maybe it's a little bit of a problem. Okay, we have to not miss the second shot. Well, let's go take care of him. Let's go see what he's got for us. You've defeated a Corsair Undergalley. Your Zub's lights illuminate the dark tendrils of blood in the water. There's a movement at the porthole. Some of the Corsairs have survived. So we can attempt to board it, which will get us supplies, or we can get some people, maybe, from a surrender. And we've got a 100% chance of both. I think we should be good. Let's negotiate a surrender. Let's be merciful. Defiance. There's a returning flash from a lantern. You swim the brief gap between your vessels. Hollow-eyed, the captain hands you the remnant of the Undergalley's provisions but refuses rescue. The captain turns and motions to his crew to begin repairs, but by the time you return to the your Zub, the Z before you is dark. Ah, excellent. We've gained some supplies and fuel, so we'll have plenty enough to get to the surface here. Or rather, to get to Fallen London again. A good thing, too, because our hull is not doing great. So we'll grab a port report from the salt lines here. Ooh, there's another big crab. We cannot fight that. Not a chance. Can we fight that thing? Let's go dock at the abandoned salt lines here. We could pick over the encampments since we have something awaits us. Sure. From time to time, some entrepreneur attempts to continue the disassembly of the salt lines. It never ends well, but perhaps they've left something. Remnants. A barrel of Murgatroyd's fungal crackers. A sack of coke, a tear-stained Bible, an odd slick of blood. Take what you can and leave. Some fuel, some supplies, and a bit of terror. And we'll just grab the port report. Let's get ourselves back to Fallen London. Keep our lights off to make sure that crab doesn't come searching for us. Oh, and a ship to our north as well. Has he seen us? Certainly not. No, he's sailing the opposite direction. I think we're all good. Ship to the north, a crab to the south. Lots of dangers abound for our very, very broken ship. Home waters. Zailors dawdle at the rail watching for the lights of London. Dang straight you do. We're almost back after our long and very distant journey. The waves are cluttered with Z-rack like drowned hair drifting. Ah, no, that's just something awaits us. Okay, we are back. A visit from the Imperious Sister's brother. A man seeks you out when your ship docks. He's shorter and broader shouldered than his self-image, but you still recognize him. You inhabited his memories back in Eigel. His sister told him where to find you. He won't stop following you until you've heard of him. Until you've heard him out. Oh, so he was who was following us before. We got a message way back that he was following us. Interesting. Well, what does he want? He sits across from you in a dockside pub. He stares at you for a long time. Just wanted to get a good look, he says, since you've had a rummage in my head where no one invited you. Well, I mean, we were enlisted to find you. Okay, well. And also, it was your fault for doing strange, needly things, my friend. From his jacket pocket, he extracts a journal wrapped in oilcloth, my sister's private memoir. She said you hadn't been paid, but I said we should pay you with this. It's not much, I know, but there's a sordid turn around year 3 of her marriage. He drops the journal on the table and stands to go. Read it, burn it, serialize it in the papers if you like. Fascinating. Well. Okay, do we have anything bad aboard? Yeah, so that... Oh, no, specifically a sunlight-filled mirror catch box is a bit of contraband. But they don't have anything. We don't have anything, so they can go and search here. Messages? Not at all. Well, let's go deposit our port reports. Yep, Guider's Mourn, still doing Guider's Mourn thing. Please give me a guy to replace my guy. Godfall. That must be Ashivan. Pirate monks. I honestly have no idea what we're supposed to do about pirate monks. What are they up to? Nuncio. Pretty standard. Humane Canal. Let's see if the Iron Republic thing explodes. No, it's just blank. Okay. Could be worse. Port Carnelian's still doing its own thing. Frost found. Identically. Okay, the Chelonit. Is it still as revolting as they say? What about the smell? Well, smell's still there, according to our readings. Grand Geode. Of course, you're going to turn a blind eye to that and hand it to... Oh, no, you're just going to rotely take the notes there. Khan's Shadow. Oh, these are always fun. Come on, let's hear it. Report submitted. Other officials gather around to hear your tales of bloodshed and debauchery, and the jokes about the Khan that the Shadow produces so efficiently and so entertainingly. The one about the Khan and the donkey produces a roar of patriotic laughter and encourages the deputy recorder to unlock his departmental drinks cabinet. Yeah, which reduced some terror for us. Wisdom. I forget where wisdom is. Not quite sure. But we went there. Irem. Oh god, what tense is it written in? Oh god, look, just read it to my colleague here. He'll give you your fee. I'll be over here, over there when you're done. Salt lines, still nothing happens there. Nook, so you've been to the Great Maw, have you? Report submitted. No clothes at all. Wild orgies, fights to the death in the altogether? The secretary glows crimson as he stares at your report. Tell me everything slowly. Rack is still doing their thing. I keep sending people there. Don't be suspect of me, please. Yeah, cool. That's that. So in London, we do need more crew, so I think we'll use that up here. Yep, just a simple sailor. So he'll be easy enough to grab. Still haven't accessed the Khanate. Nor do we have really Spider's Silk. Apparently you find it in Savior's Rocks. Have we been to Savior's Rocks? Hold on a moment. I feel like that name is familiar. And because some of the places are not named exactly what the larger names of the maps the map are. Sometimes I can never tell if I've actually been to someplace. Though, judging by a closer inspection, it looks like we still haven't been over to Savior's Rock. Wherever it happens to be, we'll have to grab spider silk there if we don't get access to the Connate first. Now, 18 fuel. Lovely. Anything to give to the... we can grab another agent here. We can try to establish in the Connate. And we could give a move in the Great Game for some cash. I think we're doing all right on cash, but we do have... Let's give one, let's say. And that should be that. Kind of surprised I didn't get anything for the Snow Child, because I thought we would receive something after we returned to port. It said something about that, but maybe there's only one at a time, so perhaps the next time we return to port, we'll get something there. We can sell that watchful curio we picked up to the honey-addled detective. We now know where we can also get more. The honey-addled detective is collecting watchful curios nearby. A puppet theater is performing The Gardens of the Serpent. The detective watches idly while waiting for sellers. A satisfactory exchange. They make good chess pieces, he says. He examines the figure's glaring eyes and clenched bead-sized fists. I think I'll use this one as a bishop. Wow, only 30 echo. Okay, well, I suppose I got it for pretty cheap. I forget where I actually got it. I got it in Irem, I believe. I think I just got it for a secret, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's also not the best. Shall we sleep and sleep away our terror? Perhaps we might. You know what we will do? We'll grab some more recent news here. Which gives us supplies as well, somehow. Now, have we picked up anything in our inventory here that we can do with our study? A port report fall in London. Yes, we know so much. We are home. I'm sorry, I don't think that's ever shown up before. What the heck? What is that from? Wow, that is spooky. I suppose that'd be something we can give to... Well, I would say that we'd give to the Connate or something, the Chelonate, but the flavor text suggests otherwise. Well, we now know where Apollyon is. It's the chess pieces. Gant is apparently over in the Chelonate somewhere. Not sure where Violent is, but I'm pretty sure we've come across it. And maybe Vieric, behind your mirror, maybe Vieric has something to do with Rack in the mirror over there. But we've at least learned that much. And we've still got a restful night left over. Sweet. Amazingly, I think we're actually going to end the stream just about on time instead of going over time like we usually do. Yeah, we went quite a ways across the river. We had an unfortunate start, really, today, where we unfortunately lost Pigmote Isle as well as the Snow Child. But we did at least make it across and find the Chelonate and Khan's Shadow here, as well as finally traded into Irem's sleeping something. Forget exactly what the location is called. As well as the Gant Pole stuff. So now we just need to find the Utter Shroom and go deliver that. As for everything else, we've got a whole southeast section of the map here to find. And a few random locations within as well. So I think that'll be it for the stream. I will go and repair up our ship here in the dock. Let's see if I can find it first. That'll be in Fallen, London. Yes, dry dock. So we'll go use some more Admiralty's favor to clear this all up. Yeah, so that'll be the end of the stream for today. If you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea material, I will be back tomorrow at 3 PST playing some more Septec Ages, a Minecraft mod. We've just gotten into the 3rd age there, so we'll be expanding out, hopefully industrializing a little bit. If you're waiting for Sunless Sea content and only interested in that sort of stuff, unfortunately, I will be out on Thursday, so I will be returning to Sunless Sea next Tuesday. Next Tuesday at 3 PST will be when I'm back, and we'll continue doing all of this sort of stuff. We'll try to finish off some of the plot lines that we have here. Yeah, if you've stuck around for this long, thanks for sticking with me. I hope to see you next time. And if not, have a good life out there in the world. Go live every day to the fullest. I will be heading out. Cheers, everybody.